Welcome to the BNI Knox Podcast, helping members in the Knoxville, Tennessee region grow their business and make more money through the power of referrals. Now, here's your host, Curtis Johnston.
Hello and welcome to the BNI Knox Podcast. I am your host, Curtis Johnston. With me today is Andy Brassfield, our Executive Director. Thank you for being here. Good to see you.
What's up? What's up?
JR is here in the building. Thank you, JR, for letting us use your studio here at Trademark Advertising and PR. Trademark Advertising and PR.
Yeah.
If you like the way we look and sound and you need some PR help, by all means call JR. Well, today I got a fun topic for us to talk about as we open up Activate and talk again like we did last week about it. But first, we wanted to plug our buddy RJ, who's putting together this BNI 5K. RJ with the 5K?
Yeah.
Tell us about
RJ
that.
Thompson, New York Life in Morristown, the Infinity chapter, the BNI Infinity chapter, is sponsoring the BNI 5K on May the 8th, 2021. May the 8th, it's a 5K. And this is to benefit the Morristown, Hamlin County Fire Department.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a fundraiser, but this thing's huge.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, so first of all, let's say that JR is going to put a link to the BNI 5K in the comment section
In the description of this podcast.
wherever you're listening, watching right now. Or you can go to Facebook and search BNI 5K.
Okay.
Real simple. Search BNI 5K on Facebook. And as fellow BNI members, let's get behind this chapter.
All right.
They're in Morristown. They're already up there, kind of away from a lot of our
Distance-wise.
Knoxville chapters, distance-wise.
Right.
So why don't we get behind them and support them? BNI Knoxville is going to have a tent set up at the event.
Oh, nice.
A lot of their chapter members, I understand, are also going to have, booths or tents or whatever to promote their businesses. Hey, reach out to RJ and find out how you can get involved. They need people to run. They might need volunteers.
Okay.
Vendors to have a booth. I mean, I don't know.
Good point.
And it's really being promoted in Morristown. The whole community is getting behind it.
Nice.
And then again, the funds that they're raising going to benefit the fire department. So I'm excited. I'd like to put out a challenge to the rest of our chapters. Find something in the community that you can plug into. I think that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, follow their lead.
All right, cool. Very good. Well, thank you for sharing. Let's move back to what we were talking about last week about Activate, which is the new member extravaganza. Mm-hmm. We're doing it differently now.
Yeah, but the same.
And it's the same but different.
But we're activated.
But we're activated now.
Activate your membership.
Which is
activate your business.
Yes.
That's the idea.
I like the idea. Mm-hmm. Tell me this. How it's going to be 2 months long. It's April and May. Runs for 2 months. There's competition involved on a regional level. Mm-hmm. How do we have some kind of competition or activity at a chapter level? Like, what can we do, next week, today, or whatever, to start generating some excitement around it?
Push-ups.
Okay, 5Ks and push-ups today.
Definitely,
huh?
no.
Mental fitness.
And hey, it worked in boot camp. I mean, they used push-ups to motivate us every day.
Activate.
Yes, activate.
Activate the muscles.
Yeah, so, some chapters will do different things. Every chapter is different. You have, different styles of leadership. You have different styles of people who follow. And so look at your own chapter and figure out for your chapter what needs to happen. But let's talk about some ideas and some concepts.
Yeah.
Some things that some chapters are doing in order to keep things going for a full 2-month
60
period.
days, yeah,
All right,
right.
so the first thing to do is break it down.
Okay.
April, May. All
Okay.
right. Don't worry about May until after April is over.
Okay.
That's my first. Break them up. April, May. So in April, what is your chapter doing? Are you having a visitor day, a stack day? Are you doing the BNI game? What are you doing in April? So now we're just looking at keeping 30 days going.
I like that.
Okay? Not worried about the 60, just 30.
Okay.
So in April, what are you doing? If your chapter is having the visitor day, for example, then why not turn it into a competition among, have teams, depending on the size of your chapter, anywhere from 2 to 5 teams. And then, your chapter can determine what the metrics are.
Right.
Like so many invitations or so many people that actually show up. Whatever those metrics are, be creative. And your chapter can have these things, to where you can have prizes from within the chapter. So like today I was talking with Robert Smith about potential prizes, and he said, $25 Starbucks gift card, or maybe a gift certificate to one of our members' business.
Right.
I said, hey, I could throw in a free month of phone service.
You're so kind.
Somebody has to move
Sign
their
this
business.
5-year agreement. I'll throw in a month for free. Well, no. To your point, though, we have T. Diedrich as a caterer in our group. Then we're always giving away some of her stuff because it's easy. Here's $25 towards tea and great food.
Yeah.
So do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever it is.
Just come up with some fun stuff. Your chapter might, you might buy a pair of tickets to Raft the Ocoee. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what. And
Donate a bottle of bourbon.
bottle of bourbon. There you go. The Monday chapter is all about that bourbon.
That's why JR's off camera. I like to keep him. I like to keep him off camera.
So we're talking. We're talking a little bit about different kinds of contests.
Right.
Divide up in teams.
Break it down 2 different months, April and May.
2 different months, and then remember what the focus is here. Okay, so for example, with a visitor day, that's a one-time event that has the lead up to it,
Right.
and then it has the follow up after it. Okay, but it is a single event,
Right.
so it's not like something that that goes on and on and on.
Right.
Those 30 days don't have to seem like forever. So if you're
true.
doing a visitor day, look at it as though it's one event.
Okay.
But don't forget, that means you got to do the work up to it. You got to do the work after it.
And then
All right.
what you mentioned earlier before we started talking about the BNI game? What is
Yeah.
that?
So how many's played the BNI game before?
Show of hands.
Yeah.
I got 3 in the
You
room.
can't
Right?
see mine, but it's
Yeah. So the BNI game, and so BNI, has the scorecards that we'll provide.
Okay.
And for things like being on time and bringing visitors and sponsoring members, there's point values. So you divide your chapter into teams.
Right.
You have a team leader for every team, and then your team members, and you've got your scorecards, and you're showing up on time. You're staying for the whole meeting. You're bringing referrals. You're getting points for
Yeah.
one-to-ones. Everything you're doing there, you're getting points.
Right.
And every week, the teams are reporting their points, where they are, and it's a competitive thing.
Okay.
So if your chapter is full of lots of competitive people, this could be fun
Yes.
to have the BNI game for the month of April or maybe the month of May.
Which leads up to the visitor day.
Again, you pick one activity to have in 1 month. So if you're going to say you're going to do a visitor day, well, if you do it in May, then you can do the BNI game in April if you want to, but don't do them both in April.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the game is the game.
Okay.
That's
So we do
that's the activity.
And I like the idea about doing the BNI game in April, which is next week. BNI, April is in 7 days. So if we crank up the BNI game now and run that through the month of April, you get points for inviting visitors, right?
Yeah.
In the game you do.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the open house that we're having in the middle of May, per se.
Yeah.
But regardless, you're still winning the game, and then that's where the prizes come in. We can also use. For
That's
that.
right. Let the chapter determine what the prizes are going to be for the BNI game. And then I think Rainmakers, JR and Rainmakers doing the bingo.
Yeah,
Have
we've
y'all
got this
decided on-
crazy new thing going on with bingo.
Yeah, so there's
Never been done
this
before, to my knowledge.
there's this BNI bingo that Rainmakers is doing that sounds really phenomenal. I'm excited to see how that's going. So that's something
Well,
different.
Can we ask him? He's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about bingo, JR.
Yeah, so the cool thing that we're doing with Bingo is we're looking to kind of build out the chapter, particularly in certain areas, okay? But we've broken up the chapter, we're at 45 members
Wonderful.
in Rainmakers.
Great.
And we're still looking to add people because, you never stop growing, right?
Right?
And so we actually have, you mentioned teams of, 2 to 5 teams. We're actually doing, I just tried counting my, I think it's 9 teams that we've broken up. So basically teams of 5.
Wow.
9 teams, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to make bingo cards for each team.
Okay.
And they're going to have different positions that we don't have currently in our chapter assigned to the bingo card, okay? So you're trying to get your team to invite the people on your card, okay?
The industries. Got it.
Yep, and each team member is going to be assigned to a square on the bingo card. I may have got my numbers wrong.
That's okay.
I'm thinking of 2 different games, but anyway,
That's okay.
we'll have different numbers of people on the teams. Each person will be assigned to try and get that one position, a visitor of that type, to the chapter.
Got it.
And then when they get that person to come visit the chapter, the team gets that space
Gets that
on
square.
their bingo card.
Okay.
Now, so they get that space when it's a visitor, or is it when they apply for membership?
It is a visitor in this case because we want to have lots of entries, lots of winners. We want everybody participating,
Neat.
being active.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
don't want anybody getting demotivated, feeling like it's too far away.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Well, and the thing with Rainmakers is they're such a competitive chapter.
Yes.
No.
They,
I have heard.
yeah, they get worked up over things like this.
That's
So-
awesome.
So I'm excited to learn more about the BNI game, the BNI bingo,
Yep.
and seeing how that works out. That sounds like a great
Sounds like fun.
idea.
And I'm glad that you're doing it for visitors, not members. Because again, in the sales world, you can only control the activity.
Yeah.
You can't control whether people buy from you or not. All you can
Right.
control is your activity. So I like the idea that it's visitors. So just do the activity, and then the signatures will come later.
That's right. Well, and also,
Yeah.
Curtis, if I can add to that, I feel like, isn't there some kind of, core value around accountability or something?
I think there is.
I think it's accountability.
And
Just the word accountability.
We're
Yeah.
big in Rainmakers about accountability. And so, you have sometimes where you get on a team, you're like, oh, this guy's killing it and this other guy's not. Well, see, with the bingo card and everyone being assigned a different position, it's got built-in accountability to that model.
Yeah, because everyone's looking at the card.
Because everyone's looking at the card, you're trying to do it as a team. And of course, somebody can get behind. They could have you could be hitting every, chiropractor in Knoxville and nobody's saying yes to you. And,
Right.
But then maybe your other teammate comes in and he knows somebody and he helps you out. So it's
Yeah.
not that you can't help each other out. But
Correct.
it does help keep, again, some accountability and keep everybody playing as part of the team.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Just a different way to keep people motivated.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Very cool. Any other final thoughts, Andy, before we move ahead?
Where did this come from? The BNI bingo thing.
Where all great ideas come from, Andy. Susan knows her.
Thank you, Susan.
She must have been in the casino or something.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Playing that was a Keno with her marker and had the little good luck trolls up there.
We could do this.
I could do this at BNI.
Yeah.
That was my Susan impersonation. Actually, you don't want to hear my Susan impersonation. We'll do that after we air. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us today, Andy, and especially JR. We appreciate that bingo idea. I look forward to learning more about that. And next week, we'll be in April, so we'll talk more about Activate.
Okay.
And see what everybody has teed up for that. I'm going to talk to my chapter and some other people I know to see what kind of activity they're going to have. And I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And
I'm
someone's-
excited about it.
And someone's winning the trip to the beach, you said.
To the beach.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you very much. My name is Curtis Johnston with Gallagher & Associates with my guest, Andy Brassfield.
See you later.
See you later.